Welcome back to Nerd Flame. I am Mr. Flame, and today we're turning the heat all the way up because what we are about to discuss is not just another slate of animated films, it is an absolute cinematic seismic event. If you thought the last few years were packed with heavy-hitting sequels and live-action remakes, you were not prepared for the sheer volume of high-stakes, fan-demanded, and secretly in development projects that are rumored to be hitting the big screen starting next year. We are talking about the biggest properties in the world. From the whimsical worlds of Pixar and Disney to the hilarious chaos of Illumination and the legendary franchises of DreamWorks and Marvel, all seemingly converging to dominate the box office for the foreseeable future, creating a level of anticipatory hype that we haven't seen in a decade. This isn't just a list. It is a preview of the biggest fan debates, the most anticipated character returns, and the absolute must-see events that will define the next chapter of pop culture. So buckle up. Let's kick this off in 2026 by immediately discussing a sequel that has been the subject of endless speculation, fan theories, and emotional pleas since the final frame of its predecessor. A fifth installment from the one and only Pixar. The sheer thought of this legacy continuing is enough to bring a tear to the eye of anyone who grew up with these characters, and the whispers surrounding the new movie suggest an adventure that not only honors the past, but completely reinvents the future of the entire franchise. Rumors are swirling that this new narrative will focus heavily on an older generation of toys facing the challenges of a digital native child, a concept that immediately raises the dramatic stakes and offers a fascinating commentary on the changing landscape of childhood and play in the modern era. The fans are already tearing apart every cryptic social media post from producers, desperate for a hint about which classic characters might return, and, crucially, what emotional gut punch the writers have planned for us this time. Because let's be honest, that's what a Pixar sequel is truly all about. There is a deeply ingrained expectation that this cannot just be a simple cash grab. It must be a poignant, generational tale that justifies its own existence, or the fan base will riot. And judging by the creative powerhouse behind this studio, we have every reason to believe it will deliver something truly spectacular and worth the decades-long wait. Next up in the hype machine is a live-action remake from Disney that has been dividing opinions since its initial announcement, yet remains one of the most bankable and conversation-driving projects on the docket. The original animated classic is beloved for its dazzling visual style, groundbreaking music, and its foundational role in the Disney Renaissance, setting an extremely high bar for any reimagining. The buzz suggests that the studio is not holding back on the spectacle, pouring massive resources into creating a photorealistic world that aims to capture the magic of the original while adding an undeniable layer of modern cinematic scope and gravity. The casting rumors alone have been enough to launch countless trending topics, with every major star in Hollywood seemingly vying for the iconic lead roles, highlighting the cultural significance of this project and the intense fan scrutiny that comes with adapting a perfect piece of animation. There is an undercurrent of skepticism, as with any remake, but the combined nostalgia factor and the promise of seeing these beloved songs and characters brought to life in a way we've never witnessed before is a click magnet, guaranteed to generate millions of views and arguments from the moment the first trailer drops. Finally, let us jump into the Marvel Studios animation lane for a moment to discuss a follow-up that has the potential to break the internet in late 2026, building on the success of an already acclaimed animated series that brought back one of the most beloved superhero teams of all time. We are talking about an animated continuation that doesn't just promise more action, but is rumored to introduce some massive, franchise-shattering storyline that will connect directly to the wider multiverse saga currently playing out in the live-action films. The expectations for this show are astronomical, with fans clamoring for the return of that pitch-perfect, 90s-era character dynamic and the specific, high-stakes melodrama that defined the original run, but with modern animation technology to elevate the spectacle. There are very strong whispers that this new season will not only wrap up the lingering cliffhangers from the first outing, but will introduce a version of an iconic villain who transcends the simple animated format, perhaps setting up a live-action debut. And that is where the hype truly explodes. The passionate fanbase for this particular series is dedicated, vocal, and ready to dissect every frame for clues about continuity, making this one of the most exciting and talked about animated projects in the entire comic book space. Moving into 2027, the first animated project that absolutely demands our attention is a long-anticipated sequel from the masters of comedic mayhem over at Illumination. This is a franchise that has consistently delivered massive global box office returns built on simple, universal humor and the undeniable appeal of its chaotic, yellow-skinned mascots. And the new installment promises to take the antics to a completely new level of international absurdity. The core rumor circulating among insiders suggests a story that moves far beyond the previous focus on a single family unit, instead setting the stage for a globe-trotting espionage adventure that pits the beloved characters against an international league of supervillains whose ridiculousness can only be matched by the hero's own incompetence. The marketing for these films is always a cultural event in itself, with the small, gibberish-speaking characters dominating toy shelves and social media feeds for months leading up to the release, guaranteeing a colossal audience ready to consume anything the studio puts out. The massive expectation here lies in the promise of introducing entirely new, equally marketable supporting characters that can carry the franchise into the next decade, while still delivering the heart and surprisingly emotional moments that tie the absurd action together. Next, we absolutely have to discuss a legendary franchise reboot from DreamWorks Animation, one that hasn't seen a full theatrical release in a long time, but whose cultural footprint remains massive, spanning 4 films, spin-offs, and a Broadway show. The sheer nostalgia and the depth of the character ensemble in this particular universe mean that any announcement of a new film, be it a sequel or a complete soft reboot, immediately sends the fan base into a frenzy of hope and excitement, yearning for a return to that unique blend of fairy tale subversion and adult humor. The most persistent rumor suggests that this new production is aiming for a complete generational handoff, introducing the children of the original main characters as they navigate a new, digitally transformed version of their enchanted homeland, while the original cast returns only in mentor roles, ensuring both fresh material and respect for the established canon. The studio knows they are sitting on a gold mine of goodwill, but the pressure is immense to nail the tone, ensuring it feels modern and fresh, without losing the satirical bite and emotional core that made the original a timeless classic. Fans are anxiously waiting for confirmation of the original voice cast's involvement, as their chemistry is arguably the secret ingredient that made this swamp-dwelling ogre and his motley crew of sidekicks cultural icons around the world. And now for one of the most requested and long-rumored sequels in Pixar's history, a film that would expand a vibrant, superheroic universe that was only given 2 installments, yet has become a benchmark for animated action and family dynamics. This particular film's fan demand is fueled by the desire to see the central family unit, now all fully aware and practicing their superhuman abilities, take on a threat that truly tests their unified strength and challenges the very definition of what it means to be a superpowered family in a world that is still learning to accept them. The boat has been officially rocked by persistent internal rumors suggesting that the villain of this 3rd chapter will not be a physical threat, but an existential, political one, forcing the family to fight for their legal and societal rights to exist, a deep and complex theme that would elevate the storytelling significantly. The audience expectation is simple but huge. Deliver even more stunning, intricate action sequences than the last 2, push the boundaries of CGI animation further, and most importantly, give the character with the most untapped potential, the youngest, most volatile one, a storyline that truly pays off the previous tease, ensuring a payoff that fans have waited over a decade to see. Moving a little further out into the speculative future, let's talk about a Disney Animated Studios sequel that is highly anticipated, largely because the first film ended with an open-ended sense of adventure, leaving audiences desperate to see where the core characters go next in their relationship and exploration of a vibrant, Polynesian-inspired world. The initial movie was a massive critical and commercial success, celebrated for its stunning visuals, infectious musical numbers, and its respectful portrayal of culture, creating a groundswell of demand for a second journey that continues the tale of the ocean-loving heroine. Industry whispers suggest the sequel will shift the action away from the immediate island setting and onto a much grander inter-island voyage, potentially introducing new demigods, ancient mythological creatures, and complex tribal politics that the hero must navigate, essentially turning the story into an epic seafaring odyssey that vastly expands the world's lore. The creative team knows the pressure is on to top the musical achievements of the first, and there are rumors of a major new songwriter collaboration being brought in to create the next generation of earworm songs, a necessary element to justify a return to this musically rich universe. This project carries the weight of becoming the next major Disney franchise, and fans are hanging on every single announcement, ready to embrace the warmth, the adventure, and the heart that made the original such a deeply resonant film for audiences worldwide. We also have a fan-fueled, completely fictional sequel that has gained so much traction online and is so desired that it almost feels inevitable at this point. A follow-up to a beloved DreamWorks kung fu action comedy that ended its core trilogy a few years ago. The desire for this project is driven by the pure, untapped potential of the world and its secondary characters, with fans constantly creating speculative plots that involve the hero having to train an entirely new generation of warriors to protect the valley from a truly ancient, magical threat, one that can only be defeated by combining their mastery of martial arts with deeper, spiritual understanding. This sequel, while not officially confirmed by the studio, is so popular in fan discussions that social media is awash with fake posters and plot leaks, creating an organic hype machine that the studio would be foolish to ignore, clearly demonstrating the audience's readiness for a return to this visually stunning and emotionally resonant world. The persistent rumor that keeps surfacing is the potential introduction of a new, female master who rivals the main character in both skill and philosophical depth, creating a powerful dynamic that could carry the emotional weight of the new film and open up new avenues for spin-off storytelling, making this the sequel fans didn't just want, but actively manifested into a probable future reality. Finally, let us circle back to Disney to discuss one of the most high-stakes, long-rumored, and deeply personal animation sequels the studio could possibly attempt. A third installment in a franchise whose first two films are considered absolute masterpieces of modern animation, beloved for their stunning world-building and complex sisterly relationship. The speculation surrounding this threequel is primarily focused on the narrative direction, with fans desperately hoping the story will move beyond the initial focus on harnessing or hiding powers and instead delve into grand, world-spanning mythology, perhaps forcing the main characters to confront the source of their magical abilities in a distant, forgotten land. There are persistent rumors suggesting this next chapter will introduce a major new antagonist that directly challenges the established magical structure of their kingdom, perhaps even threatening to expose their world to the broader outside, mortal world. A dramatic twist that would elevate the stakes to a global level and ensure massive media attention. The expectation is that the studio must, at minimum, deliver another collection of generation-defining songs And the pressure on the composers to create anthems that rival the previous worldwide hits is immense, which is why every single potential voice cast update and song snippet becomes immediate headline news, ensuring this animated sequel will be one of the biggest entertainment events of its release year. In conclusion, what we are witnessing across Marvel Studios, Pixar, Disney, Illumination, and DreamWorks is not just a release schedule. It is an orchestrated, multi-studio effort to recapture the magic, the financial success, and the cultural dominance of their biggest intellectual properties. The next few years promise to be an absolute feast for animation fans, filled with the emotional resonance of returning to beloved worlds, the adrenaline of watching childhood heroes face new, even grander challenges, and the sheer spectacle of seeing animation push its boundaries further than ever before. Whether it is a long-awaited final chapter, a risky but necessary live-action reboot, or the completely fictitious sequel that has been willed into existence by sheer fan desire, the common thread is the immense, palpable hype surrounding these projects, making the era starting in 2026 the undisputed golden age of the animated legacy sequel. Every rumor, every casting announcement, and every tiny trailer snippet will be analyzed, debated, and celebrated right here on Nerd Flame, so you do not want to miss a single moment of this incredible journey.
I didn't know this was even possible. I learned how to make money online. The link is right below in the first pinned comment.